It takes plenty of courage to turn your back on Manchester United at the age of 13, up sticks and fly 5,000 miles to try to forge a career in football. But that's exactly the route chosen by New York City midfielder Jack Harrison. And right now it's looking like the perfect decision. After 7 years in the United States, Harrison has been called up by England under-21s for their upcoming Euro 2019 qualifiers against Scotland and Andorra. It is hardly the end of the ride. At 20, he is only just setting out, but it certainly does vindicate an admirably bold move to relocate stateside rather than stay in the comfortable and familiar surroundings of United's academy. Fortune favors the brave, they say. Harrison is finding out firsthand just what that means. He was barely a teenager when he opted to quit United and its famously successful youth setup to move to the private Berkshire School in Massachusetts. Harrison was a year above Marcus Rashford at Carrington and played with the striker on a handful of occasions. He had seen several other players progress into the first team, but many more failed to make the grade and drop out of the game altogether. His mother, Debbie, had concerns over his future should football not bring him an income, and a move to the American East Coast came up in conversation. It was a tough decision at the age of 13, but I had a lot of faith in my mom and what she presented to me, he told the Telegraph in a 2016 interview. The shift in lifestyle from Bolton to the Berkshire must have been stark, but Harrison settled, winning a Gatorade National Boys Player of the Year award and earning a place at Wake Forest University. His stock continued to rise. In January 2016, the Englishman no one in England had heard of became the #1 draft pick by Chicago Fire before New York City traded money and their #4 selection to sign him. Now the kid from Stoke-on-Trent was training with Frank Lampard, Andrea, Pirlo and David Villa. His MLS debut came in May 2016 in a local derby against New York Red Bulls. He scored his first professional goal on his first start against Real Salt Lake in June 2016, was nominated for the Major League Soccer Rookie of the Year award, and has now made a total of 57 appearances for his club, netting 14 times. A couple of years ago, I would always think about what would have happened if I had stayed at United, but now I have no regrets. I am happy to be here in the situation I am, playing with the players I am, Harrison said in an interview earlier this year. I am learning so much and it can only get better, really. The 20-year-old's admiration for his illustrious peers has been reciprocated by Lampard, who has predicated big things to come from Harrison. He's got a natural ability on the ball. Some players just know when to pass, when to dribble, and they have a natural ability to skip past people, Lampard said last July. On top of that, he's got a lot of humility, and he's a really good kid. He wants to learn, wants to work hard in the week. He's not ahead of himself, and I don't think he ever will be because he's so good. He's a real weapon for us now, and he's got everything he wants in front of him. At 18, I've seen a lot of good players with ability, and Jack's the latest.He's up there with as good ability as I've seen at that age. There can be few greater compliments in the game today for an English midfielder. But, what's more, the pair have become friends. When Harrison received his international summons for the first time last week, Lampard was quick to congratulate him with a message on social media. "So happy for you," the Chelsea legend wrote. "You have done so well to recover from all the nutmegs you received in the boxes last year to get there. Top man, you deserve it and more." Though his status back home in the UK is only just starting to build, Harrison has become a familiar face in the US, where being the #1 draft pick comes with tremendous expectation. His Instagram feed is full of glamorous pictures of his life in the United States, and, in the spring, he was the subject of a documentary charting his journey to the Big Apple. Jack Harrison, Road to City. Generally, the boy from Darwin has shouldered the burden with poise and respectable maturity, so much so that his coach, the Arsenal great Patrick Vieira, suggested he could easily fit into a Premier League squad. There is no doubt he has the quality to play in Europe. But now it's how much does he want it? That will decide where and which level, Vieira has been quoted as saying. "It's not a question about the talent, it's a question about him working every single day to be a better player." That will dictate the level he'll play. This under-21 call, for a man who has spoken of his desire to represent England, but who hasn't ruled out playing for the USA, will amplify his profile on these shores significantly. Those with an interest in the young Lions can expect a dynamic, attack-minded midfielder with a burst of pace, a devilish left foot and a willingness to take on his marker in one-on-one situations. "I never thought this would happen when I moved out here. It's a special moment, and I'm going to cherish it," Harrison said of his international summons. "Whisper it now, but there may well be